Guarantee, a promise, I've never broken my word. Anyone making less than $400,000 will not see one single penny in their tax raise. I will not impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000. No one earning less than $400,000 will pay a single penny more in federal tax.
Lies, lies, and more lies. As we just showed you, it will. For more details on what exactly is in this legislation that will now become law once Biden signs it today, tomorrow, whenever, he's the former chief White House Budget Office economist under President Trump and currently the chief economist for the Texas Public Policy Foundation. We want to welcome Vance Ginn to the program. Vance, how about it? We tried to break it down. I'm sure there's way more bloated overspending in there, but it's not going to reduce inflation. It's going to raise taxes on 80-90% of all Americans that actually pay taxes. It's going to beef up the IRS, and it's pretty much going to fund a majority of the Green New Deal that they couldn't get from their Build Back Better. Did I miss anything? I'm sure you know more than I.
Well, those are certainly the key parts that are going to devastate the American economy, American families. It's going to make it more difficult for us to put food on the table, to buy gas and everything else, because look, this is going to increase inflation. I mean, I know President Biden likes to say that there wasn't inflation over the last month. 1 month doesn't mean that inflation is going down, though. People are still continuing to see high amounts of inflation. Over the last year, inflation is up 8.5%. Gasoline prices up 44%. Food at home up 13%. Just time and again, this administration finds ways to put the American families down to where they can't pay for putting food on the table and things of that nature. We really need a different approach. And the Inflation Reduction Act doesn't do anything with inflation. Whether you look at the nonpartisan CBO or some other the Joint Committee on Taxation or other measures that's been out there, they're finding that this may go down, like you said, 0.1%. compared to where it is today. This is just a non-starter. It should not have passed. President Biden should not sign it. He will, but he should not sign it to improve the American future.
Vance, you were an economist for Trump. In your expert opinion, what would you be doing? What would you be advising if this were, and I shouldn't even say this, because if this were a Trump administration, we wouldn't be in this pickle right now that we're in if he'd been in charge the last 19 months. Let's be real. But let's just say you're facing double-digit inflation. You're in the White House budget office right now. Forget who's in the Oval Office. What would you be advising to do immediately to try to turn this around?
The number one thing that they need to do is to slash spending. Spending is too high. There were all these one-time expenditures that were out there. We need to make sure that those don't become continued permanent programs like government is known to do. Mm-hmm. And if you slash spending, then we can make sure that we can keep taxes low. I really think we should even cut taxes where we can. And the big thing with the administration that I would be arguing for at OMB right now is to deregulate. The Biden administration has come in and just regulated everything that we had done such a good job of pulling back. Those barriers for allowing for entrepreneurs to flourish. And now what we need again is more liberty, more economic freedom. And that comes with pro-growth policies of less spending, less taxes, less regulation, and less printing of money by the Federal Reserve. That's the way that we recover from this unfortunate situation that we are in a period of stagflation that we have not seen in 40 years. Yeah,
it's insane. Vance, is there anything positive? I mean, I tried to find one thing, and I thought that maybe some of the Medicare stuff and prescription drug stuff may occur, and that's the only positive I could find in the bill. Will that actually happen, or was I just being too optimistic?
I think you're being too optimistic on that part. This puts more control of our healthcare, of our energy, and other areas of our economy and our lives to government. We need more of that back to the people. And I think ultimately, if there's one good thing out of all this, is that it wasn't as large of a bill that they were initially trying to sign of $3 to $5 trillion more dollars. But this is going to be a massive bill. I mean, if you add up everything that they've done over the last year and a half, we're talking about $4 trillion in new spending when the annual budget is usually around $4 to $5 trillion. So this is a massive increase that even though they didn't get everything they wanted, they've basically been able to put these different pieces together and make it bad for the American people.
That's exactly what they did. That's what I was trying to lead up to there, Vance, is they couldn't get that Build Back Better. They couldn't get other bills last year. So this year they're breaking them up. They're calling things different names, acting like they're going to help here while they just backdoor fill all this pork and bloated spending and wasting our damn money. Again, that will do nothing to reduce taxes or reduce inflation. I hate starting with bad news on a Monday. I was trying to find some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. Vance Ginn, again, chief economist for Texas Public Policy Foundation, used to work for Trump. Wish he was back in the White House right now advising so we can get our economy back on track. We'll just cross our fingers for midterms in 2024. Vance, thanks. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep.